Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. So today I wanted to share with you that I had a friend at work who brought me some treats. So as you guys know, we are in Zone 9B, Florida. It is very hot right now, very, very hot, okay? Like melt you kind of hot. And so I've been inspiring her to start growing. She has a screened-in lanai area. It doesn't have a roof. That's not a screen, so it's not like mine where I have the metal aluminum stuff on the roof. She's actually just got it open air, which is all screen. And so she has been planting on the lanai. So all right, so she is got, hopefully you guys can see that, she has some jalapenos and she's gotten 2 little tomatoes, which I think that's awesome. You know, it's just getting out there, getting started, and you know, just enjoying life, doing what you got to do. It doesn't have to be on a large scale. Understanding growing cycles and patterns and what works for you is really important. I think what's really good for her though is some of these things that she's growing are not getting attacked by bugs, and I think that's because she's in that screened in area where it's kind of acting like a little bit of a cover for her, and it's also not bringing in that terrible just blasting heat while she is getting a lot of sun. The screened in lanai is actually providing some type of protection. So I'm gonna see if we can get this larger. I should probably just transfer this over, but she is walking around here and kind of just showing her garden space, which I think is just awesome. She's showing me that she has some mint and some peppers, and she's got some squash going on, and trying to think of what else she told me that she had growing. Oh, she had some oregano and some other beautiful plants. She wanted to share that with me, and I think that that is just awesome that she is inspired to be growing. And this is how you get started, folks. Her son-in-law actually built this, and so built her a little grow box. It's got some wheels on it so she can move it if need be. So I think that that's just awesome and amazing. So I want to show you what she actually shared with me today. So today she brought me in some mint. It's beautiful, it smells great. Mint in a nice kind of shaded area does really, really well here in our summery times, but definitely this is not going to last long in our direct heat. For me, I often grow mint in the fall, like getting closer to that fall time. So you're looking for me, I am personally going to be growing mint closer to that September-ish, end of September, beginning of October, November time frame, because I do want it to be cooler, and I don't want it necessarily getting that direct sun. As you know, on the back half of my house, that's when I'm really getting that intense, super hot heat. And that's something that we need to think about, because this is really going to be a morning type plant. It's going to love to grow in the morning time, not getting that afternoon blasted heat. Okay. Next, we have rosemary. So she brought in some rosemary. I forgot that was one of the things that she had until she gave me some and she's sharing with me. So, smell-o-vision. I wish y'all could smell it. It's beautiful. It's got that nice holiday to me, like putting it on a turkey, some type of a chicken or poultry product. Obviously, you can do it in some you know, mashed potatoes. Rosemary is great. You can also make a rosemary tea. I love making fresh rosemary because you don't need a lot of rosemary. I mean, the aroma just blasts you. I love it. So you can do a nice rosemary tea. So good, so healing. You can also use rosemary in your shampoos. So that way it starts like, you know, creating some hair growth for you. If you're experiencing like some hair loss, I love herbs. I mean, herbs are so good, and that's a really nice way to kind of start your garden adventures. Although I will tell you, from seed, sometimes it's a little more difficult to get these herb type products to grow. All right, the next thing she gave me was basil. This looks like a Genovese basil or something like that. This is definitely aromatic, beautiful. It's got this great scent to it. I love using basil when I'm growing basil. You can make a delicious basil tea, but this specific type is really got that, what I would say, Italian type smell to it. So it's making me want to put it on like a tomato basil pizza, or just tomato basil, you know, where you dice up some tomatoes, throw a little bit of basil in it, and you're getting that deliciousness. And that's what I'm saying. You can step up your food by just adding some delicious herbs to it. So keep in mind, that is something that we can obviously grow here. I actually currently have some basil out there right now. I have cinnamon basil. I have lemon, lime, and the Genovese basil growing. So we'll see how that, you know, works out in the future for us. I'll take you on another video. But right now, like I said, my friend is sharing with me, and she just brought it in and was like, hey, I'm so excited, and I'm so proud of her. So shout out to Millie for growing and being a part of what we are doing here on Growing Zone 9B, and for sharing your beautiful harvest with me. I am so grateful. I told her that I was going to be sharing this, and that I would be showing every one of you that this can be done, and that she's doing it in just what I think is probably a 4x2 rolling type of you know, grow bed. She's got legs on it, and the wheels are at the bottom, and then at the top she's got that, and her son-in-law built that for her. So all right, so this is beautiful. I wish y'all could smell this one too. I love smelling herbs. It's just the freshness of beautiful herbs just enlightens me and just sparks fire in me to get out there and want to continue growing, because this is the stuff that your dream food is made of. Because when you're adding these beautiful aromatic spices to it, it just heightens your food to the next level. People are gonna think you're so culinary fancy, but honestly, we're just keeping it real and keeping it fresh. So we have got this, she says it's Italian oregano. Now I don't know if this can be transplanted. I will tell you right now, I have a Cuban oregano, and I have another oregano out there that I literally can just clip it and stick it in the ground, and it actually starts taking off. So I might try that with hers. I'm not sure if hers is more seed based. I will do research on it. I would assume, since the other ones are easily transplanted like that, that this oregano might be as well. So we'll give it a little snip and maybe stick it in the garden somewhere and see if one of these little sections will get going for us, because that would be nice to have here too. I love it. So that is what she has shared with me today. I absolutely am excited for her, and this is encouragement that she literally had not really been growing prior to this, and then this is her first adventure. And I think herbs are a really nice way to get started in the growing aspect of, you know, learning gardening. Like I said, I wouldn't necessarily start that from seed, because sometimes seeds can be a little more difficult to get going, but that's not always the case. It's just more so the case here for where we live, because, you know, we've got really, like I said, it gets really hot here, and anybody that's ever, like, or if it's familiar, oh, I can hear Miss Tiffany scratching at the glass door. I was like, what is that noise? So if y'all hear that, it's Miss Tiffany. But I mean, it can be kind of difficult to get those started, and they're not really great, all of them, all the herbs that being transplanted, so be cautious of that. All right, so moving on for today, make sure you're staying hydrated as always. I have actually gone through like 3 of these today, which for me, I know some people are like, I do that in the morning. Well, for me, in my field, that's a little more difficult, so I'm actually pretty proud of myself for getting through 3 of these so far. My day's not done, obviously. I still got a little bit to go, but it's good that we're starting off like this, so stay hydrated, everyone. All right, so let's talk about getting our beds ready, because before you know it, we will be back into our cooler, what I would say is our cooler weather, and I am excited about that. So we need to be thinking about that transition of cleaning out the beds and kind of getting them prepped and ready for the upcoming fall season, where we're going to be growing potentially, like for me, I can already tell you right now, I have been so looking forward to getting some bok choy and some Asian cabbage. I'm missing those beautiful flavors that I normally am enjoying in the fall, and having, you know, those heartier soups and that type of stuff. So my mind has been definitely on that and getting my seeds together. Of course, I'm going to take you guys along once I pick out what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be planting. So you know, I'm always kind of like pre-planning ahead on what we're going to have growing. We still have definitely quite a bit of the summer, as far as I'm concerned, that blasting heat to come through for us. So I'm not too worried about it. We also are still like getting the passion fruit. That's been something that we've been, you know, taking down as well. So they've just been falling on their own. You don't ever have to pick a passion fruit. They're just gonna fall for you. I have also been pulling out the carrots. I will tell you, the carrots, they're okay. They're not as delicious as they are in the fall, so I want to go back and I want to replant some carrots for the fall. And this year I'm going to be really consciously aware of thinning them out, so that way we are not just, the beds aren't getting so full that I'm not really getting the growth out of the carrots that I should be. So that's on definitely the agenda for the upcoming gardening season. But for now, everybody just keep enjoying yourselves. It is the summertime. I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed, but start thinking about, especially if you're new to gardening, start thinking about what direction you want to go in and what your plans are. And you know, take all that into consideration, because you can get a green stalk, you can get some buckets, you can start some beds like my friend just started on some, you know, with little rollers. I know that I saw a company, I think it's called Better Choice Products, BCP, I think it is. If you look them up, I'm not promoting them, I'm not promoted by them, I'm not any of those things. But I know that they had some beds that had wheels. I have ordered one from that company before. I actually ordered it for my mom. It only lasted about 2 or 3 years, so you're definitely not going to get a long time frame out of it. But if not, you know, my go-to is obviously I call it Vigo. I've heard some people saying it's Vago, but I'm like, I don't know what you call it, but it's VEGO. That's obviously my go-to beds as I move forward, and as you guys already see in my garden, that is what I have. So keep that in mind, that you need to kind of start thinking ahead of time and start planning on what direction that you guys want to go into as we really start reflecting on that upcoming, you know, what most people would say is their fall gardening. For us, this is just our normal gardening, because our weather has cooled off enough for us to really get out there and get growing. All right, everyone, so thank you all for joining me. It is a beautiful day outside today. As you can see, the wind is blowing. It's just gorgeous. We always get quite a nice breeze coming up off the lake. I have been, you know, taking my time and just enjoying my family and friends over the summer. I think that it is important that we are spending time with those folks that we love and appreciate and value, because, you know, you got to find a balance in life. I never push gardening to the extent that you don't ever have balance for something else in your life. Also, I want to tell you guys, I met a new person that came over with one of my neighbors, and he was telling me that his like 92 or something year old mother, basically she's between, like, I think he said 92, maybe he said 89, anyway, she's quite a bit older, that she is still out there in her garden picking weeds and finding things to grow, that they have done corn and that they have done all kinds of stuff, squash and you name it, peppers, and she has been growing. So shout out to you right now, because if you are an older gardener, God bless you. I am so glad that you are keeping the tradition of growing alive, and that you are helping to educate the younger generation, or a generation that's younger than you, on these practices of eating healthy and growing, because I think it's so important that it just takes one of us to continue this cycle and to keep passing on the knowledge and the love for gardening, so that we all know what to do should something happen in the future, and or just for enjoyment, because you know what, that does keep us alive. Grounding yourself is always important, and I talk to you guys about this all the time. All right, as always, everyone, love one another, be kind, and I will see you all in my next video.